Hello, I'm Nancy Hohen, Economic Development Director with the Village of New Lenox, and today I have the pleasure of sitting here with Trustee Annette Bowden, who I have very much enjoyed working on a really neat project here in the village, and we want to make sure that all of our residents understand what we're going to be doing so they can come take advantage of this event. So let's talk about Ladies' Night Out.
Oh my gosh, it was an event that I think blew us both away last year. Last year was our groundbreaking event. We had about 30 or 35, I think we had about 30 vendors last year that had come, and I think we had over 250 women that showed up, and I think we were very surprised by the turnout. I know during the event, after the event, women approached me and hugged me and said, "Oh my God, this was the best night ever. Thank you. We need to do this again." So here we are, 2013, and we're doing it again, even bigger and better than we did last year.
There you go. So just so that everybody has a good idea of how this is all going to work, last year it really became an extension of our movies in the park, and decided that we needed to add something just for the ladies in town.
Right.
And we weren't just going to show the movie. So as you said, we had the vendors and wine tasting and food and...
Well, maybe for those that really didn't experience it last year and haven't talked to their friends, neighbors, or family members that are out here in New Lenox, Ladies' Night Out is a night out strictly for the ladies that would love to come out, spend an evening shopping. Visiting, drinking. We have wine tasting from Age Perfection. We have some Taste of Swice, which is new to us this year. J.H. Swice is going to be putting together samplers of their delicious food from their catering business here in town. And we have local vendors as well as vendors that have reached out to us a little bit further with a lot of home-based businesses, local businesses, that have their goods right there for you to purchase or try, and it was a huge success. I know we're accepting applications currently. What is the date again on that, Nancy?
Well, this year, as you know, we decided we would do this on a Friday night so that everybody'd have a little bit more time to
Instead
shop
of the Wednesday.
and enjoy that. We wouldn't have to maybe go to work the next day. So Friday, August 23rd is the event date this time.
Right. We did end up changing it because a lot of the ladies were concerned last year. I think we had it was the first day of school. And they were worried their husbands would not get the children prepared properly for school the next day. So we decided to move it to a Friday night. And we also moved it up. It was 6 o'clock last year. We're starting it at 4 o'clock. So you're going to be able to come and shop, eat, and drink from 4 until dusk, which is around 8 p.m. And then that's when the great movie Mamma Mia, starring Meryl Streep, will be playing.
So I think that it was, you know, the first time you do something, it's a learning experience, and it was a huge success, but we think we found a few ways to even improve on it this year. So.
Well, we were lucky enough. Silver Cross Hospital was with us last year at our event. They thought it was fabulous. So they've actually reached out to us and has decided to sponsor the event this year. So they're very, very supportive of what we're doing with it. I believe they're going to have special booths out there, catering. Of course, as we know, Silver Cross Hospital has been a huge asset to New Lenox. They have so many facilities that are growing out there, so many different levels of service. And I think they're going to be sharing a lot of some new ideas and some new services that they have with us.
And I think, you know, that you mentioned a really good point. They really have an emphasis on the women's center at the hospital, and I think this was really a good avenue for them to reach out to some of the women in the community. They saw it as that and as a way to step up and get even more involved this year. So
I think they know, and they saw a good thing happening in town, and I'm very proud. There's a lot of things that I think the Village of New Lenox tries to achieve, and one of them is a community feel and being involved within the community, and not just with services as far as plowing streets or making sure their faucets work, but family events. And this just happens to be a special night just for the ladies. So.
Well, and it was interesting. Last year, I know we had some families that were multi-generational. We had 3 generations of one family there, grandma and mom and her teenage daughter.
Oh, absolutely.
And it was all ages, and I think that was important to mention, you know.
Oh, no. I absolutely agree. There were moms with daughters, there were sisters, there were cousins, there were neighbors. And it was funny because a lot of them then just came and they just giggled. You know, you just saw them off their little cluster. They don't get nights out very often in town. Fun, early evening, free, you know, free venue, doesn't cost anything unless you're shopping or eating and drinking and that, but for the most part it's an open venue. Beautiful setting, of course. Our new Lenox Common's gorgeous, and it was just a fun night. I'm telling you, I had more hugs that night from our community saying, "Oh my gosh!" And I've been involved for a long time, and done a lot of things that I thought were very important. This night, I do not ever want this to stop because they truly, truly recognize it as being one of the best nights they've had. So I'm looking forward to this happening again for everyone.
Good. Yeah, and I think we're off to a very good start. The vendors we have registered this year already, we're way ahead of where we were last year. And as you mentioned, it's a really good mix. I mean, we have those home-based businesses, the Mary Kay's and the Avons and Tastefully Simple, but then we also had a lot of artisans.
Yes.
Some of our people who come to our French market.
Yes.
Was another way for them to maybe reach out to a different audience in town. So we have even more of those people signed up for
and
this
I
year.
think, and it's funny because at the French market, one of the things I hear most from the vendors that participate at it is they love New Lenox. It's a small market, and they get that. There's a lot larger markets out there, but they love the people. And when they heard there's another event for New Lenox people, I'm telling you, they just love it.
Yeah.
So that makes this event very easy, and the same token very difficult because we don't have a lot of space.
Right.
So right now having 40 vendors is going to be quite fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
very,
have a
very
good time.
excited.
Yeah, and we have some, well, I will call artisans, true craft and
Yes.
art people that come with their very unique products. And then we have more of our storefront businesses that are going to be participating this year too.
Good.
Which is going to be nice. Petals and Twigs will be there, and
Good.
Hope's Kitchen, which is a new business in town this
And that's
year.
great because not everybody gets all around town for everything.
Right.
We all have our certain directions that we travel in for family or children events. So as small as New Lenox is, I don't think you always get the flavor of where everything is at with these new businesses.
Yep.
So this is a great place to introduce themselves.
Yep.
You be able to have a taste of what they're all about, and then you'll know where you can shop New Lenox.
Right, and a lot of people did early Christmas shopping last year. I think it was great, and you made contacts that you could then follow up with directly after the fact as well. So I think that worked out for everybody.
I think it's going to be fabulous. I invite all those. There weren't a lot of children there.
Right.
It's really not. For those of you that have young children, you have no choice to bring them. Absolutely, they are welcome. But it's not a kid-oriented event. There's
Right.
not really activities for the kids to be kept busy. There's not items for the children to be purchasing, toys, items, and things like that. Just so understand, this is more oriented to the adult woman or the person that's interested in spa items or purses or jewelry. I'm all about jewelry. If people know me, they know I'm all about jewelry.
Right.
But those kind of items, health treatments and massages. I mean, that's kind of, it's a pampering evening.
Right.
So as much as it's family oriented, it's really mom oriented. It's more woman oriented.
Right.
So anyone is welcome to come, but I think it's a great night to hit dad up or hit grandpa up to watch the kids and
Right.
spend a little time on yourself.
Right, I agree. And well, you mentioned J.H. Weiss, who's one of our new caterers here in
Yes.
town, and they're based out of the American Legion down on Cedar at the banquet facility there. And the times you and I have been able to go to events, functions where they've done the food, they do a lot
Fabulous.
of past hors d'oeuvres and some really nice things. And so, as I understand it, they're putting together kind of a sampler, if you will,
Yeah.
of some of the different things they do that
They've done that for our wine and jazz nights,
Okay.
and I've invited them to do the same thing here. I think it's a really good option. I like to have something different. I can cook regular food and I can go out to
Right.
dinner all I want, but to really get some nice, different appetizer type treats, that's a treat for me. I love stuff like that. So I'm thinking that they will enjoy sharing their goods with everyone, and I think everyone at this event will enjoy having a chance to taste their samples.
Good, good. Well, and we obviously, it's a great way to promote what they do in town as well.
Of
so.
course, and we do try to do that, and that's why I think the initial idea of having New Lenox vendors, home-based vendors, so they're not having to spend a lot of money to be somewhere to show their goods.
Right.
And we want to help promote local businesses.
Right.
And we love our community to see what they've got in their own backyard.
Sure.
And it's just a great marriage, and I think it worked out well last year. As long as Mother Nature cooperates, because she's always the biggest control factor,
Right.
I think it'll be fabulous this year.
Good, good. Well, we want to make sure that we get in a plug for another unique event that's going to be coming up this year as well.
Yeah.
So last year we caught a little bit of flack, and I think
Yes.
jokingly so, that we
Yeah.
were doing something for the ladies, but you took that seriously.
Yes, I did. I got complained, what about us guys? What about this? You guys always take care of yourselves. You always do, but what about us guys? So I brainstormed with a couple of guys from the village here, and we decided to come up with beer, brats, and bags, and bears, most importantly, Chicago Bears. We are going to have a Bears Night Out in September. I believe the date is September...
The 22nd.
Thank you.
Yep.
It's a Sunday evening. We are going to have up on the big screen TV, if you've not been to a movie night or you've not been to an event, in the comments we have a large projection screen that comes down in the pavilion. We are going to be playing the Bears game. That starts promptly at 7:30, I believe, kickoff.
Yep.
We are then going to, prior to that, because it's great to watch the game, but you're probably going to get a little thirsty, a little hungry. So we decided to bring in some brats. I believe it is Ranch Frosty's Jim Milner is going to be handling our concession area for us. And we're going to be having brats and dogs. And we from the village are also going to be able to pop for some beers to be sold out there for you. And we are going to be coordinating also a bag game. So we're going to have more detail on how to set up if you want to do a tournament with friends or neighbors. Set up some bag tournaments up there. That'll start at 6 p.m. So it gives them a couple of hours to play, eat,
Right.
drink, and then bring a lounge chair. No, don't bring a lounge chair. You all need your remote controls then. Bring a lawn chair if you want to watch the Bears game, and that'll be televised until the end of the game. And hopefully it's going to be a preseason game. I believe the Steelers are who they are playing that evening. But just to see the Bears on the big screen in the Commons, eating, drinking, and having a beer and having a brat, I think sounds
Right.
like a wonderful event. So that's what we're going to try this year. We'll see how the guys do. If they can match the same counts and the same amount of fun that I know the ladies do.
Right, and we were fortunate that HR Green here in town stepped up to help sponsor that and make that possible.
They
and-
were, I think, very excited to get involved and do something. When they heard it was a guys' night, I think they were even more excited to
Sure.
think they can be a part of that. So yes,
Good.
thank you to HR Green for being the sponsor for our very first guys' night out. And we'll give more information on our website. And also we'll be announcing it. I will be announcing it as I normally do at our village board meetings,
Sure.
any kind of updates and changes in that. So
Good.
look for more information regarding that
Yeah,
soon.
and we have a little time for that one yet, so.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so, I mean, before we wrap up here today, what else, I guess, on Ladies' Night Out do we want to make sure that we've let everybody know?
Just
So-
if you're a vendor that is interested and you've not registered yet, because the amount of spaces opened are limited to vendors that we do not have duplications of. In other words, if you're a Mary Kay vendor, we already have a Mary Kay vendor set up. We will not duplicate and have two Mary Kay vendors.
Right.
We try to make sure there's just one vendor of each type of business. So if you have an interest and you have a different business out there that you think might be of interest to the Village of New Lenox residents, give Nancy Hohen a call or go to the website. There's an application on the website, www.newlenox.net. Fill out the application, but you need to do it very quickly because we are going to be wrapping up and setting up the program for that very quickly. So within, I'd say, no later than, August? Not even.
Yeah, I mean, I
You
think.
think August 1st is a good
Yeah, I
good
think
time?
so. I think we've got probably another week or so that we
Okay.
can,
Try to get it
let
together.
people, yeah, and they can give us a call and we can give them direction from that point.
Great.
So.
Feel free. Nancy's door and window is always open
thank
for you to reach out, and I know we would love to have as many vendors as we possibly can.
Perfect. So, well, thanks, Annette, for
Thank
coming
you.
in here with me today. so we can
Without
get
you,
the word
Ladies'
out.
Night Out would be not nearly as successful. Our
thank
local
you.
businesses, I believe, appreciate your efforts as much as I do. The community thoroughly enjoys this event. It's really a marriage that has worked well. Shopping and ladies sounds like a great match to me.
I agree. Well, New Lenox, I hope that we gave you enough information on Ladies' Night Out. Please join us on Friday, August 23rd at the Commons, starting at 4 o'clock for our shopping, and the movie will start right around 8. So let your friends know, your family, your neighbors, and we'll see you there that evening.